Hello, my students, class 9. Today I want to start with chapter 7 Political History and Administration of Samudragupta and Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Samudragupta and Chandragupta Vikramaditya. The chapter is 7 and the age of Guptas. Political History and Administration. Okay, now look at the book. In my book, page 70. All of my students look at the book. In my book, page 70. Chandragupta was succeeded by Kumaragupta I, who enjoyed a long reign of some 40 years, but not so much remarkable. Now, my students, just you look at the book, page B68. Chandragupta was followed by his son Samudragupta, and my students look at the book that Samudragupta was one of the ablest of the Gupta rulers. Samudragupta was one of the ablest of the Gupta rulers. Now look at the book. Chandragupta first was followed by his son Samudragupta. He turned out to be one of the ablest of the Gupta rulers. He was very efficient Gupta rulers. Now, we have already referred to the Allahabad pillar inscription. Allahabad pillar inscription in which the poet narrated the skill Samudragupta displayed in many battles which left scars all over the body. Samudragupta's main quality was, one of the main qualities was, Samudragupta was an ablest ruler and great warrior. He never faced any defeat, and he faced many battles, and all over the battles there were scars in his body. Scars means he was severely wounded in various battles. Now about his conquest. Now the conquest of Samudragupta. Samudragupta first defeated the rulers of northern India and annexed their dominions. Now Samudragupta first, my students look at the book. Samudragupta first defeated the rulers of northern India, and annexed their dominions. They included the Nagas of Mathura, Padmavati near Gwalior, and Ahichatra, the region and the neighborhood of Bareilly, and the ruling chiefs of western Uttar Pradesh and eastern India. The king's next important campaign was against the southern rulers. First he annexed the northern part of the India, then southern rulers. He won victories over 12 rulers. Then after that, next against the southern rulers. Now next against the southern rulers. My students, the king's next important campaign was against the southern rulers. He won victories over 12 rulers, including those of the Odisha, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu. He defeated these rulers but did not annex their kingdoms. He allowed them to rule as tributaries of the Gupta Empire. And lastly, my students, look at the book, and look at the board. The frontier monarchs, rulers of forest tribes, and a few other kings. Samudragupta was not only a great conqueror, but he was also a great scholar, a poet, and a lover of music. Samudragupta was not only a great conqueror, but he was also a great scholar, a poet, and a lover of music. Now, my students, you look at the book, and I want to tell you that Samudragupta, lastly, he faced the frontier monarchs, rulers of the forest tribes, and a few other kings. Being impressed by his victories, submitted of their own free will and agreed to pay tributes to the emperor. Now, all these emperors, they faced they surrendered to Samudragupta. They included the rulers of Bengal, Assam, Nepal, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh. Samudragupta issued gold coins to celebrate his conquest and also perform Ashwamedha Yajna, that is the horse sacrifice. That is the horse sacrifice. Now, then, my students, come to the point that Samudragupta's personal attainments. Samudragupta was not only a great conqueror, Samudragupta was not only a great conqueror, but he was also a scholar, a poet, and a lover of music. He was called Kaviraja, that is the king of poets. His coins show him playing his lute, that is Veena. He worshipped Lord Vishnu, but he showed respect for all religious faith. He was also a patron of learning. He was also a patron of learning. Then after Samudragupta, then Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Chandragupta Vikramaditya, my students. But now again I want to mention you that Chandragupta Vikramaditya or Chandragupta II. Now his conquest, his main achievement, now my students, first his main achievement was to overthrow of the Saka power in Gujarat and Katiyahar Peninsula Peninsula. Now my students, you listen carefully that in the wars of B.G. Gokhale, the reign of Chandragupta II marks the zenith of the Gupta glory. Now Chandragupta II was the most remarkable and famous ruler. Now, Chandragupta II was also known as Chandragupta Vikramaditya, had not to build an empire for himself. This task had already been accomplished by his father. Now, his conquest, that is the conquest of Chandragupta Vikramaditya. His main achievement was the overthrow of the Saka power in Gujarat and Katiyahar Peninsula. Now, the main achievement of Chandragupta Vikramaditya, his main achievement was the overthrow of the Saka power in Gujarat and Katiyahar Peninsula. Now, the Katiyahar Peninsula. With a view to pursuing his plan against the Sakas, Chandragupta married Kubarnaga, a Naga princess. Chandragupta married a Naga princess. Name of that Naga princess was Kumarnaga. Now, through these matrimonial alliances, Chandragupta secured the friendship of those rulers. Chandragupta secured the friendship of those rulers who could be much serviced, who could give him much service. Now, having the strength in his position, he attacked the Saka satraps. The end of the Saka rule came about sometime between 395 and 400 AD. By this brilliant conquest, Chandragupta obtained the title of Sakari. My student, this is very important that why Chandragupta was called Sakari. Why Chandragupta was called Sakari. Now, an inscription on the iron pillar records the conquest of a king named Chandra. If he is identical with Chandragupta II, we can say with near certainty that he defeated a united front of his enemies in Vanga and his victorious arms reached the northern Afghanistan. Now, my students, listen carefully. That an inscription in the iron pillar near Qutub Minar in Delhi, we got a record of the conquest of the king named Chandra. We have doubt whether this Chandra and Chandragupta, Chandragupta Vikramaditya, that is Chandragupta II, was identical. If identical, then we can say that this Chandragupta II defeated a united front of his enemies in Vanga, and his victorious arms reached the northern Afghanistan. Now, his place in history. Chandragupta Vikramaditya is best known for his human administration. Chandragupta Vikramaditya was best known for his human administration. His personal wisdom and his patronage of arts and literature, and his patronage in arts and literature. Now, my students, Chandragupta Vikramaditya is best known for his human administration. That is, he was very tolerant to all human beings, and he looked after the poor and the destitute. Now, his personal wisdom and his patronage of arts and literature. Fayen, who visited India during the reign of Chandragupta II, saw almost all parts of India and has left exact details about the places he saw and the life of the people as a whole. Fayen visited India during the time of Chandragupta II, and he gave a detail of the places he saw and life of the people as a whole. Now, Fayen accounts of India. My students, this is very important, and we know that always the literary sources plays very important role in as a source of history. We have already narrated that Fayen, the Chinese pilgrim, visited many parts of India. These included Mathura, Kanauj, Kashmavati, Kashi, Kapilavastu, Pataliputra, Nalanda, and others. He recorded in his diary everything that he had seen. His narration of localities, people, and their life was of great service to historians. Wherever he went, he found the people were happy. They had all they needed and were kind to each other. There were hospitals for animals also. He recorded. Fayen gave a detailed account during the time of Chandragupta II, the emperor, about the emperor and about the Gupta dynasty. The people in general were very happy, and these included, and we narrated that and Fayen also visited many places. And what were these places? Mathura, Kanauj, Kashmavati, Kashi, Kapilavastu, Pataliputra, Nalanda, and others. He recorded in his diary everything that he had seen. His narration of localities, people, and their life was of great service to historians. Wherever he went, he found the people happy. They had all they needed and were kind to each other. There were hospitals in the Gupta, during the time of the Gupta dynasty, that is especially during the time of Chandragupta II, there were hospitals for animals also. He recorded. My students, today up till this, in my next class I will teach the other part, the remaining part of the chapter. Okay, my students, wish you all the best.